Here we are on day 6 of the 12 days of Christmas. And today we're going to talk about boundaries. Boom, boom. Boundary setting. How are we going to do that? I think the biggest thing of all that I often hear from people is things like, well, I didn't want to do it, but I ended up doing it. Or, well, that's not something that I wanted to do, but I had to. So it falls in with yesterday's choices, right? Often we make the choices, even though we think that I've not got a choice in this. I spoke about this yesterday. We do, and it's always our choice. Sometimes what happens is we feel we don't have a choice because we've been railroaded into something. We do have the choice because we can say no to that straight away, or we can choose our moments, right? Maybe you don't want to say no right then and there, and that's okay. That's okay. But you then want to set some boundaries up because the chances are somebody's manipulated you into the situation and you don't feel comfortable at saying no straight away. Sometimes you might be. Sometimes it's like, no, that's not going to happen. But for a lot of people, they find that difficult. So what do I do in situations like that? Well, you set the boundaries back up. Maybe you've never set the boundaries before, so you can't set them back up if you've never set them up in the first place. So this is really family, friends, colleagues, whoever. And they want you to do something, but you don't necessarily want to do that. To be able to say no, there's twofold to this. One is, if you don't know what your values are, it's very difficult for you then to say no. It really is. If you know your values, one of the things you can say is, well, that doesn't actually fit my values. And it'll do one of two things. One is, it'll make somebody go, oh, okay. Or it'll make you go, what do you mean by that? And then you have to back that up. You have to back it up by explaining what value it is it goes against and what that value means to you, okay? So that means knowing your values, and this is a big part of leading me. If I don't know me, how can I lead in any way, shape or form myself or anyone else? So by going in, going deep, finding out what are my values, what's my vision, what's my purpose, and these are all the things that we do inside the Dare to Shine Your Brilliance community. Then we learn what our vision, value, purpose is. It's part of what I've had for years called decision making made easy. And now I can actually go, well, actually that doesn't fit. However, if you're in the situation that you actually don't know what those values are, or it's one of those moments where I don't feel I can do it, I'd like you to think about it as being like a fence. You've got this field, and what you've got in the field, or it's your backyard or whatever, it's important for you to keep a sanctuary for it, to keep it safe, to have the boundaries so that it feels a safe place to be. So that fence is what you're going to build. That fence is, first of all, I need to plot out, what is that fence? When do I need to use the fence? Well, actually, in situations like this, or this, I need a fence. What does the fence look like? Is it like a brick wall? I mean, you try to keep everyone out? Or is it a fence that is easy access with a gate? So think about what your fence is. It sounds like my cockatoos. Yeah, my cockatoos are at it again. So you've got to think about what does my fence look like? Does it have a gate? Because gates are, I'll let you in, right? But it's in my terms. I'll open that gate and walk through in my terms. So it's very important that what we're doing is we, first of all, build that fence, and then there comes time when people try to crash through the fence or try to come in when they shouldn't. So that is that they bombard you, that they manipulate you into a situation. If you don't have the fence up, then it's really difficult for you to not go with the flow of that. When you've actually explained to someone that this is my fence, this is what it's about, and I'm not going to go, before a situation happens, this isn't going to happen for me. So don't try and do that, because I'm not doing it, and it's for this reason. And usually, as I say, the values are a great reason. Then they understand that, so if they do it, it's very easy to say, no, I've told you before that even in front of people or whatever, if they're going to try and burst through that fence, but it means you have to maintain the fence, remember, because as people try to get through it, you're having to go round and check all the posts. Are the posts up, or are the bricks still there, or whatever fence you've built, you still have to maintain it. You still have to remind. I don't know if you can remember, but back here, I mentioned I wouldn't be doing that. Well, that's still the same situation. So you're maintaining that, but you're also got the gate to open and allow. So if by chance you do want to do it, then you can open the gate and let people in. So think of your boundaries as your safe space, your place you can allow in and out, but it's also your place that you have to maintain. You have to be sure of what it looks like, what it is for you, and why that safety is important for you. Then it becomes easy that if someone says, oh, we're doing such and such, or we're going somewhere, and at this time of year, that's such an easy thing. When we're really young, and for those young ones who are listening in, it's really easy to just go along with your pals because they're saying they're going to do, your friends are going, we're doing this. And if it doesn't feel right for you, the chances are your values are speaking and saying, no, that doesn't fit my values. Then having the boundaries there where you go, guys, there might be times that I go, no, I'm not going to do it. And it'll be, I just don't like doing some of the stuff that you like. That doesn't mean to say that I don't think you shouldn't do it, etc. But that's, that's where I'm at. So please respect the fact I'm saying no to it, and you go and have a great time. Right? So you can set that boundary up with them so that when the time comes, you can easily say, actually, this is the time I'm going to sit this one out. I'm just going to head home, or I'm just going to head to somewhere else, whatever it is, because you know yourself well enough to be able to go, no, that's not for me. So your boundaries are really important, particularly at this time of year. Don't end up somewhere you didn't want to go. And I mean by that, the choice. Okay. Sometimes we go to places that we don't really want to go, but we're doing it to help to make me feel good because somebody else wants to do it. Right? It's always to make me feel good. If it doesn't make me feel good, then don't do it. Right? But if it's actually going to affect someone else, and I love that someone, and I see, I'm doing it for them, but don't hold it against them. Right? Yeah, that's a different thing entirely. So boundary setting, and do it at a time when you're not in the moment. Set those boundaries early. But if you have to reinforce them, then you can reinforce them in the minute because you've already had that conversation. Keep your fence well maintained and you'll be fine. So, day 6, boundaries, maintaining. First of all, putting them up, setting those boundaries, then maintaining them and enforcing the boundaries if and when you need. So, for me, for now, day 6 of the 6 days of Christmas. Stay true, stay you, and keep bringing out your brilliance. Bye for now.